up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Hail Mary. Hope you all had a very good holiday weekend, Thanksgiving, Black Friday, whatever you celebrate. Hope it was great. And welcome back. Yesterday was supposed to be the episode for the podcast, but we got a ton of snow outside, so I was kind of just prepping for that. Knowing I was going to be locked in here, I did a bunch of stuff to get ready. You know how it goes. But as I was, over this holiday break, I was thinking about the podcast, and we're going to move in a pseudo different direction. We're still going to talk about sports. We're still going to talk about what's going on in the sports world, but we're going to cater it more to segments. And how I think I'm going to do this, I want to have a lot of audience participation. You guys can pick what we talk about. So that's going to be all through our inner circle over on Patreon, where I have segments called the Panic Meter, You Tell Me, Writer Cooked, the Scapegoat of the Week, and then we'll also do we'll talk about everything else that's going on as well. But I just wanted to let you guys know that if you've been watching this for a while and you're like, hey, what's going on? This is a different format. I just thought it'd be a lot easier, a lot more, not rigid, but easier to do rundowns every single week. And I think it'd be a lot more fun. And I just want to kind of, today test it out. Today we're going to do some scapegoat things. Who would I think the scapegoats are this week? Teams or players or whoever that I think should be on the Panic Meter. And then we have some more additional topics as well that I kind of want to run down and cover for you guys. So yeah, before we get into all that, big shout out again to Underdog and Sleeper. Use the code HMM when you sign up for Underdog and Sleeper. You're going to get yourself a free 0.5 pick, which is basically like, Patrick Mahomes only needs one passing yard, or Justin Jefferson. Well, I was going to say Justin Jefferson only needs one receiving yard. He ain't getting that with his quarterback situation right now, but you get what I'm saying. Plus, on top of that, you'll also get a deposit match. And with the holidays coming around, these companies, Sleeper, Underdog, all of them, they're doing some good deals. So make sure you're signing up. Use the code HMM. Do not miss out on that opportunity to get free money in your pocket. And also, again, if you guys have not checked out HailMary.media, read all of the blogs by myself, Irby Brooks, who is our hockey writer, or by Jersey Bill, you're really missing out. There's a lot of good content over there. And we're also everywhere again. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Shorts. You know where to find us. And check out our Patreon again as well. The link will be in the description. Let us start with our first segment. And our first segment is going to be the Panic Meter. And there are two teams right now that are probably on the Panic Meter. So the way I want to start this out is let's talk about one of the games that happened on Black Friday, and that's the Eagles getting beat by the Chicago Bears. And Eagles fans, you did not just get punked on Black Friday by the Chicago Bears. You can't tell me that everything is fine after all that. This was supposed to be a team that is finesse in the Chicago Bears. And this is a team that you were supposed to bully down the field. You are the defending champions, and you're supposed to just dominate them with your run game. The game before, the Chicago Bears, historically bad defense. They still ended up winning versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. What we've learned is that the Steelers are not a good team. But this is a game that you should have punked the Chicago Bears. And you didn't. You didn't. You let Caleb Williams take over the game versus you. So you lost at home 24-15. And Caleb Williams made big throws, off-script plays. He was keeping drives alive. And it was a long, long day for you guys. And this is not looking the best right now for the Philadelphia Eagles. Everything right now is seemingly not going right, other than your defensive line for the Philadelphia Eagles. Your offense right now is broken. And this was supposed to be a team that you feared on the offensive side of the ball, because it's like, oh, they got Saquon Barkley, and then if we load the box to try to stop him, they're just going to throw it over the top with A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith. They have great tight ends. Nothing's working right now. And you're coming off of a mini bye, and you still get bullied by the Chicago Bears. Your offensive line doesn't look good. Your run game doesn't look good. Jalen Hurts doesn't look the best. There's stuff going on right now with A.J. Brown and how he's upset that he's not getting the ball. There's a lot wrong with the Philadelphia Eagles. So on a panic meter side, where would I put the Philadelphia Eagles? Now listen, you guys are still 8-4, obviously in the mix for winning the NFC. You guys can easily make a push. You do have ugly wins this year, but I would say that that's the way that you guys are built, is to win ugly. I do think that you are built for if everything goes right. Right now it's not working. But if everything goes right, the way that the Philadelphia Eagles are built, it is for January and it is for February pushes. You guys are going to make the playoffs. There's really no doubt in my mind. The Philadelphia Eagles will make the playoffs. So when it comes to an overall panic meter score for the Philadelphia Eagles, after losing to the Chicago Bears and after looking kind of abysmal the rest of the year on the offensive side of the ball, I'm only going to give the Eagles a panic meter of about a 4 out of 10. The record is fine. The way that you're winning is not comfortable. The way that you're losing is super uncomfortable. But I still feel that the way that this is built, this team, it can work. It will work at some point later in the season when there are teams that are mega banged up. Now, I know that this was a game that you probably should have won, considering that the Chicago Bears, again, were super banged up. But I still feel that the deeper you get into the season, more teams are going to be, not as loose, not as, they're going to be more rigid. They're going to try to do everything in their power to stop one thing. And then all you got to do is make a few plays on the outside. If teams are loading the box to stop Saquon Barkley, you just got to rely on Jalen Hurts. And I know that for some people that's tough. I still think Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback. I'm not in full panic meter mode right now for the Philadelphia Eagles. It's a 4 out of 10. I think you'll be perfectly fine. It's one of those things, too, that if you get into like a swinging match where you score first, another team scores, I do think you have the capabilities that if it becomes an offensive shootout, you have the capabilities to wear down a defense. And your defense is so good that it can keep up with that. Your defensive line is incredible. So I think the Eagles are fine on that front. So if you are an Eagle fan right now, what would your panic meter be from 1 to 10? Are you cool with having a 2? Or are you full blown oh my God, blow it up. The whole team stinks. We can't get the ball to A.J. Brown. Our quarterback's awful and Saquon Barkley's broken. Where are you in terms of that for the Philadelphia Eagles for a panic meter? Our second panic meter part of this segment is going to be the Minnesota Vikings. You can't get shut out 26-0. Watch your star wide receiver go ghost on social media. You have veterans asking to be released, which Adam Thielen, and you can't just pretend it was another bad Sunday. The Vikings have no rhyme or reason right now to this team, and they had 2 quarterbacks on their roster last year, Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones, who would have been 3,000 times better. 3,000 times better than what you have right now in J.J. McCarthy and Max Bosmer, or whatever the hell his name is. Brosmer. Max Brosmer had some of the funniest interceptions I've ever seen in my life. And there's a reason why he's a third-string quarterback in Justin Jefferson right now. If I'm hitting a panic meter on just Justin Jefferson, it's at a 19 out of 10. That he's visibly frustrated, and I think that guy is going to want out if you don't figure out this quarterback situation. And I'm strictly saying you probably got to admit that you were wrong on J.J. McCarthy. 9 is not a good quarterback because you're not just losing football games right now. Last year, you were winning games over the top, high-flying offense. Then you get rid of Sam Darnold because you're like, hey, he's not really the guy. He kind of folded under pressure. And you just handed the keys to a Ferrari to J.J. McCarthy, who, again, I think he was a full-on handoff merchant at Michigan. That's what he did. He was capable of making throws, but it's more so because they had Donovan Edwards and they had Blake Corum, and everybody was in the box. Teams would have 11 guys in the box to stop the running game, and it would leave guys like Roman Wilson wide open down the field. I don't think that J.J. McCarthy was the right pick at where he was picked. I don't think he was a first-round pick, and I don't think that you should have just handed the keys directly to him and said, do exactly what Sam Darnold did, because he's not that type of quarterback. He's not the guy who's going to make those throws like Sam Darnold. You're seeing it with Sam Darnold right now. Sam Darnold is capable of making some incredible throws. You're not seeing that with J.J. McCarthy right now. And you already have Justin Jefferson, he's upset. Adam Thielen wanted out. There are deeper locker room issues right now, too. If you have a veteran guy who wanted out of Carolina, wanted to come back to Minnesota, and he comes back here and he's like, no, get me out of here. There's something wrong with your team right now. Not from just a quarterback standpoint, not from just an offensive standpoint, from a team standpoint. There's something going on in the locker room right now that is causing veterans who wanted to come back to Minnesota to one out. And you're getting embarrassed. 26-0. Your quarterback was abysmal. Abysmal. This is not the Vikings team that we thought they were going to be this year. People thought that the Vikings were going to be good. People thought the Vikings were potentially going to win the division. And they looked good in that first week whenever they beat the Chicago Bears. But right now, what I'm seeing, in terms of this overall, I'm not even going to call it a rebuild, because it wasn't a rebuild. It was more of just a passing of the keys. Because you went from a quarterback who was good to a quarterback who is now bad, and you just handed it to him and said, do the same thing. The panic meter right now, for me, is it's an 8 out of 10, because I do feel that you could go out and get somebody in free agency. If you bring in a Davis Mills, if you bring in a Marcus Mariota, those are better options than what you have right now. And I'm not saying it would fully turn it around, but your stars wouldn't be upset. Marcus Mariota and Davis Mills actually proved that they could get the ball to wide receivers, so you could do something like that. But where the rest of the panic meter comes in is you kind of just wasted a first-round pick on J.J. McCarthy. And yes, he could get better. Things could pan out and be better for him in the future. But I don't think you should have just handed the keys to him and said, that's it. You should have at least kept Daniel Jones on the roster right now and did the same thing the Colts did, where it was a quarterback competition between him and Anthony Richardson. But you guys messed up. You thought you had your guy, and I get it. You draft a guy, you think he's the guy. But this team right now, in terms of their overall retool of the quarterback position, you should be in full panic mode that it's not working out, and that you had two guys on the roster who are top 10 quarterbacks in the league right now. So yeah, you guys aren't just bad, you are abysmal at the quarterback position. It's terrible. You have two amazing wide receivers. You have a good tight end. The running game is all right. Aaron Jones is still serviceable. But man, there is something deeper going on in that locker room if Adam Thielen, who wanted out of Carolina to come back to play for you guys, yeah, it's not looking good. So if you are a Vikings fan right now, after that shutout, where are you in terms of a panic meter? Are you saying, hey, it was our third string quarterback, we're fine? Or are you looking at the season as a whole and being like, hey, listen, J.J. McCarthy just ain't it? For me, again, it's an 8 out of 10. I do think that you could maybe make a move to go get somebody. This is a good quarterback class as well. But it's not the best for you guys right now. So if you are a Viking fan, panic meter, 1 out of 10. Where are you? Is this like, we got to get rid of J.J. McCarthy? Or are you saying like, it'll be fine? We weren't going to be better than the Bears. We weren't going to be better than the Lions. Let me know what you guys think about that, because it was rough for you guys. It was really rough. All right, moving on to our scapegoat segments. So those are just our panic meter segments. Now we're going to move on and talk about scapegoats and who I think is basically how it's going to work is if you get a 10 out of 10 rating, it means you are full scapegoat, where it's not your fault. People are just using you as a scapegoat. 1 out of 10 is like, hey, I think people actually have a point that, you're not really the scapegoat, you're the problem. I know it's a little bit confusing. People are going to want the higher number. The lower number is kind of what you want in terms of scapegoat. The higher number is what you want. You want to be a scapegoat because it's like, well, it's not really my fault. You're just using me as the scapegoat. So the first thing we have to talk about is the Pittsburgh Steelers. And every single answer to the Steelers' loss, anytime the Steelers lose, the first thing the fan base says, fire Mike Tomlin. Fire Mike Tomlin. He is the problem in Pittsburgh. And these chants are getting louder, and they're getting louder, and they're getting a lot more heat to them. Before it was a little portion of the fan base. Then it was like, hey, more people are starting to come in. After this Bills loss, it's I would say 75% of Steeler fans are saying you need to fire Mike Tomlin, because the only people right now who are being like, well, it's like Rex Ryan saying like, yeah, fire Mike Tomlin because he'll get a job somewhere else. Who cares? This team, highest paid defense in league history, 6-6 at home. They're getting run off the field, and it's the same old thing. No adjustments. The offense is terrible, and it seems like Mike Tomlin is even fully out of it. He at his press conference, he was just giving like lazy, nothing answers. The guy has no playoff wins in the modern era. The offensive scheme of the modern NFL was passed him by. The guy knows how to run up the middle and throw to the outside. It does not work anymore. And again, Tomlin is supposed to be a defensive coach. The Buffalo Bills walked into Pittsburgh and steamrolled the Pittsburgh Steelers on the ground. You had TJ Watt saying that the Bills were running the same play over and over and over again. And there's no adjustments on the defensive side of the ball. You can look at what the Steelers are doing on defense and immediately know that nothing's going to change. They're only running zone. They never run man. If a play is working, they don't adjust to fix it. And it's just a product that Mike Tomlin has built in Pittsburgh. He has done nothing to fix it. The only Super Bowls that he's won was with Bill Cowher. His teams, his systems, where Big Ben was still kind of running the show. Yes, Mike Tomlin was the head coach. That's Big Ben's team. He hasn't won anything with his own staff. They had Brian Flores on the roster, got rid of him, brought in his own friend Terrell Austin. Matt Canada was on the roster for way too long as an offensive coordinator because he gave his son a chance at Boston College, and he wanted to reward Matt Canada with being an offensive coordinator. It's disgusting. And listen, I'm not going to sit here and say that everything is Mike Tomlin's fault, but a large majority of everything that's wrong is Mike Tomlin's fault. It's the roster, it's the coaches that he put together, because these coaches don't know how to coach, they don't know how to make adjustments. He signed off on everything. So, yes, he's not the one calling all the offensive plays. He's not the one building the roster. That's Omar Khan. But he's signing off on everything, because if you think that he doesn't have more power than the GM, you're out of your mind. So the scapegoat level right now for Mike Tomlin, honestly, I'm going to say it's a 4, which a lot of this is his fault. And a lot of this is the message getting stale in the locker room. You have Aaron Rodgers taking shots at other teammates, saying it was a bad week of practice and the energy level wasn't there. That's on Mike Tomlin. He should be coming out to practice, guns a-blazing, full energy, ready to go, and he wasn't. He didn't do that. He seemingly had a hangover from the holiday. That is completely on him. Mike Tomlin is full. He should be full scapegoat right now, but you also have guys like Aaron Rodgers isn't playing well. Cam Hayward is being a big baby. TJ Watt is getting paid $40 million to do absolutely nothing. He's getting paid $40 million to do nothing when you have Myles Garrett, who's getting paid the same amount. He's about to break a record. The Steelers are stuck in 2008 right now. It's because of Mike Tomlin, and I'm sick of hearing that, well, if you fire him, he'll get a job somewhere else because he's a good leader. He's obviously not, because he's not coming into the week with energy. He's not coming into the week with passion to win. And when they lose, he has the worst answers ever. He's talking to the media like they're idiots. Obviously, you have no idea what you're doing in the modern era of football, Mike Tomlin. So if you are a Steeler fan, where are you on a scapegoat level for Mike Tomlin? Do you think that he's going, it's full scapegoat, it's not his fault, 10 out of 10, it's Omar Khan, it's just the play callers, or are you going with a 0 and everything is fully his fault? And he's not a scapegoat, he is the problem. Let me know what you guys think about Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers if you're a Steeler fan, or how do you see this from the outside looking in? Our next scapegoat is going to be Matt Stafford. People are mad at him. They think that the season is over and the sky is falling for the Los Angeles Rams because they lost to the Carolina Panthers. And again, the Carolina Panthers, to me right now, I have no idea where to put them. You guys will see that in our ranking video. I don't know if they're a good team or not. I am so confused about the Carolina Panthers. But if you are the Rams, how are you feeling about Matthew Stafford? So the Rams analysis is just for the fan bases. Oh, well, he's a turnover machine now. He broke his record of most consecutive touchdowns without an interception, but, you know, it's an actual meltdown going on in Carolina. Do you think that Matt Stafford is turning into a turnover machine, or do you think this was just one bad game and he played a hot team in the Carolina Panthers? Now, yes, the picks are bad. The fumble was even worse that he had. But saying that this team lost because it lacks toughness, because the quarterback is a turnover machine, I think is lazy. I really do. Have you ever heard of any given Sunday in the NFL? Now, yes, the Rams were supposed to be probably the best team in all of the NFL. This is a game you maybe should win by double digits. I think the line on this game was like 7.5. They probably should have won this game comfortably, but they had 3 turnovers. They blew leads. Their 6-game winning streak was over, and a lot of people were saying, well, they were never truly elite. You lose a game like this, it proves that you're never truly elite, and they're trying to blame this all really on Matthew Stafford. You know, the Rams had the lead. They lost control. They could not take over the line of scrimmage in the second half. Carolina was coming off a short week, and people said that, you know, some of this could be on McVay, but a lot of people right now are blaming Matthew Stafford. They're saying that, oh, well, he just got out-toughed. Matthew Stafford's reckless, and this is going to be the problem, and the Rams aren't going to win the Super Bowl because Matthew Stafford is too reckless with the ball. He's going to throw too many picks, and we're not going to make it past the second round. I just don't believe that. I don't think Matthew Stafford's reckless. I think Matthew Stafford, I shouldn't say full reckless. I should say he's calculated reckless. When you have the caliber of wide receiver that you have in Los Angeles, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, you kind of can get away with being a little bit reckless. You really can. Did you see some of the catches that Puka Nacua made? And sometimes you want a quarterback like that who is more of a gunslinger. So I'm not going to sit here and say that he's reckless. I am going to say that he's a gunslinger and that he trusts his arm. He thinks he can make every single throw. And yes, he's getting older. So when it comes to a full-on scapegoat meter for people saying, oh, it's all Matthew Stafford's fault and we're not going to win in the playoffs because he's reckless, I'm giving it a 7 out of 10 Because yes, there may be a game in the playoffs you guys lose because Matthew Stafford gets a little too gunslingerish. He tries to force a ball in the double coverage to Puka Nacua. But to say that the Rams lost this game strictly because of him and because of Matthew Stafford, you guys are winning absolutely nothing. That's a sham. That is dumb. No. Matthew Stafford is one of, probably if not the reason, the Rams are up there as a top 3 team in the NFL. And again, any given Sunday, this could have been a trap game. This could have been one of those games where the Rams thought they were going to walk into Carolina and just bully. They didn't, and they got out physicaled, and they ran into a team that is hot right now in the Carolina Panthers. I still don't know if they're good, but they ran into a team who was hot. So if you are a Ram fan right now, 0 to 10, 10 saying you think that it is full scapegoat mode and Matthew Stafford's fine, nothing that he's doing is wrong, and he's just playing the way that he knows how to play, and 0's like, yeah, it's kind of his fault. We're not going to win anything because of him. Where are you on Matthew Stafford and the rest of the Rams season if you are a Rams fan or on the outside looking in? And how much do you have to blame on Sean McVay for what is going on as well? I mean, listen, to me, again, it's not all Matthew Stafford. Yes, he had bad turnovers, but the defense wasn't ready. The defense should have been ready to beat up on Bryce Young. Again, the line was 7.5 or something like that for this game. You probably should have won by double digits. So I am not calling Matthew Stafford the scapegoat for the Rams at all. There's a lot that went wrong in this game, and I still think the Rams are going to be perfectly fine. Just a few touch-up things before we end the show. Some stuff with college football. So, Ohio State has officially taken back their status as Big Brother. Michigan, I shouldn't even say Ohio State lost it. Basically what it was is it was like, you know how sometimes when you were growing up, you gave your brother a controller, you were playing a game, and you just absolutely bullied him. You dominated him. And what happened was your brother started getting mad because you just kept winning and winning and winning. So then what did he do? He would go on the internet and he would look up glitch plays, cheat plays, and then he'd be like, "Hey, you want to play?" And you'd be like, "Yeah, sure." Knowing that you are better, knowing that you're going to walk in there and absolutely dominate. And then your brother starts hitting you with these glitch plays and these cheese plays and all these cheats that he found on the internet. And you're like, "What are you doing? How are you, like, why are you doing this? How are you doing this? Like, that's not part of the game. You can't do that." And they're like, nope, that's a win. Win's a win. That's basically what Michigan was. Is Ohio State for the longest time dominant. Just beat up on Michigan 8 straight. Then Michigan was like, hey, we really can't win, so maybe we're just going to try to cheat. And that's what they did. They had Connor Stallions on the sidelines. He was looking up the signals. He was learning everything about every other team, and they were cheating. Michigan was blatantly cheating, and that's how they won these games. And sure, they're going to say, hey, we won the national championship 15-0 in whatever year, and we beat Ohio State 4 straight times. Well, this was what happens is now you get into the nitty-gritty where the game gets patched. So Michigan can't run their cheese plays, their glitch plays. They can't cheat at the game anymore, and now it's an even playing field. And you know what happens when it's an even playing field? You take control back. The better team, the better system, the better program takes control back. That is exactly what happened. Michigan couldn't cheat anymore. The game was patched. And now Ohio State has taken back their status as Big Brother. Not even that they lost it, but Michigan was only able to win football games because they cheated. And Ryan Day has now won the big one. And I get everyone was like, what do you mean he won the national championship? Do you know how many Ohio State fans wanted him fired even after he won the national championship, but he lost to Michigan? Listen, hand up, that was on me. But now it's done. That monkey is off his back. Now all he has to do is go out and win a Big Ten championship game, roll on, go on, win another national championship back-to-back, beat up on Michigan again the next year. It is beautiful. The game gets patched. Michigan doesn't know what to do. They're paying $12 million for a quarterback that throws for 63 yards in the biggest game of his life. This is beautiful. Ohio State is back. Michigan doesn't know what to do. They're cheating. You got to think about it from this way as well. This is how bad the program is for Michigan. And I hate to pile on. I hate to pile on Michigan. I really don't. Sharon Moore right now, if he was to get fired from Michigan, Michigan would be a top 2 job other than, well, when LSU was available. Right now, if Sharon Moore was fired, Michigan would be the best job in the country. Sharon Moore probably wouldn't even get a G5 job, though, if he was fired. That's how bad coaching is right now at Michigan. They should not have Sharon Moore as their head coach. But actually, I do think they should. Give him a lifetime contract. The guy's great. But the game was patched. Michigan, they can't cheat anymore. And now Ohio State, they just took back. The better team, the better program. It won. The last thing I would like to talk about is Texas. And all over my feed, my X, Meta feeds, Instagram, whatever, Texas fans are whining, are crying. We deserve to make the playoffs. We lost to a 3-8 Florida team, but look at the teams that we beat. Oh my God, we beat so many good teams. You have 3 losses this year. You lost to Florida! You can't lose to Florida and make the playoff. There's no way. Sure, you beat Texas A&M. Good for you. You beat Oklahoma. Good for you. You beat Vandy. Good for you. But guess what? You lost to Florida. That disqualifies you from anything. You cannot make the playoff with 3 losses, and one of those losses is losing to Florida. It can't be. I will say that you could make the playoff with 3 losses if your losses were Ohio State. Who else did they lose to? Georgia. You guys got bullied by Georgia. And then say you lost to Vandy, but you beat Florida. I think that there is actually an argument there that, hey, your 3 losses were to top 10 teams. Like, fine. You lost to Florida. And all of these Texas fans are crying and whining. Well, look at who we beat. We beat up on these great teams. And we deserve to be in there. No, you don't. No, you don't. Sure, you only lost by 7 points to Ohio State when it was Julian Saint's first ever career start in college football. I think if you played right now on a neutral field, Ohio State beats you by 21 points. You got dominated by Georgia. It wasn't even a game. The game was over at halftime. You got dominated so bad. And then again, you lost to Florida. So all of these Texas fans who are crying that they deserve to be in the playoff, I don't even think Notre Dame deserves to be in the playoff, let alone you. Notre Dame lost to Miami, and Miami and Notre Dame have the same record. So I think Miami should be in over Notre Dame. Strictly from that. Strictly because of the head-to-head. You guys lost to Florida. It's that simple. You should not be in the playoff. End of story. Thank you guys for listening to this edition of the Hail Mary. Hope you guys have a beautiful week. We will be back on Thursday for our rundown of the week for the NFL. And then also, again, Friday, we will be doing some even more segments. So I hope you guys enjoy those. And yeah, be sure again to check us out on all of our short form platforms: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Shorts. You know where to find us. And check out the Patreon again. If you want to get involved with the show, ask questions, be involved in what we talk about segment-wise, make sure to join the Patreon, join the inner circle of Hail Mary Media. Yeah, you get a lot of cool benefits over there when you check it out. Just check it out. I'm not telling you to sign up. I'm not telling you to do anything like that. Just check it out and see if it's worth it to you. Thank you guys so much for listening to this edition of the Hail Mary. I will see you all on Thursday. Peace out.